What is up, you guys? It's the Fallout with here, and today I'm doing a what if. What if Deku had hyper regeneration? Part something. Alright, so you guys already know about the whole thing with Toga and Deku, but I decided, after much consideration and as much effort and as much heart, I am still sick, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna stop making videos. I was planning on making one today, yesterday, but I became very fatigued. I do not like being sick, and this sucks. And I know I don't do videos as well as often, but I was really trying my best. And after that, I tried, and I was like, I thought to myself, okay, just a couple of seconds just to close my eyes. And I said to myself, what is 5 minutes going to do to me? After that, passed out. Like fudge. So, I decided just to push ahead. And pushing ahead, you probably already see that it's going to be Deku x Toga x Froppy. Not always going to be like that, but this is a ship that I like. I like, if I wanted to ship Deku with anyone, it would either be Toga or Froppy. So, yeah, that's how I truly feel about that. It's something like that, or along the lines. But anyway, so what does happen is Deku and Toga do go to sleep after that day, and what else happens is Froppy wanted to thank Deku because he saved her. He saved her from dying. So how that happened? Well, basically when Froppy was thinking to herself that she might have died, she realized that she could have died due to Deku. Well, the quirk that Shigaraki had, or Shigaraki's quirk, Froppy realized that quirk could have killed her. So she saw what happened to Deku's back. And keep in mind, Deku did not act in any of this. Remember this. He didn't act at all. Which means he 100% thought she was going to die, and by pure will, by his pure will alone, he decided that he was going to do something about it. And he did something alright. He did do it. And he fought to the death. Not to the death, because this is Deku, but she was wondering, like, what can I do to say thank you? And you guys already know that I'm going to ship them already, so there's no thing. But yeah, she was very sweet to Deku the very next day, or the very next day, the next time they met at school. And basically, she was more insistent on him calling her Suyu, or Sue. And she was also more like, just don't worry about it. Just think of me as somebody you can rely on. And Deku, yeah, he was trying to, like, okay, so I feel happy. Just think about it. He felt something for her. Like he felt something, but he didn't feel something. So let's see. For this lesson, I'll explain that she felt something for him, like hours. Like, she felt like badumps right there. The dokies, badumps, whatever you want to call it. So, let's see. Okay. Well, she was insistent. She wanted him to like call her names. She wanted to sit next by him at lunch. She told the teacher like in secret if they could be they could switch spots with somebody. And over that time, yeah, he understood what she was getting at. He understood that Sue likes her. And, well, Deku had to tell somebody. And, yeah, word got around that with some people that Deku knows and talks to at times, they're like, well, they might be trying to go out, you know what I mean? Like, right there. And they're like, well, Deku doesn't have anybody in mind. A lot of the girls, for some reason, are jealous, and they're like, well, we want to go out with him too, but I'm not going to make it a harem. Although, he has infinite stamina. Anyway. So, while these two were talking, he walked her home. And this is a different place. So, let's say that she lives like 5 blocks away from like where Deku's hideout is at. So he walks her home. But they go to Toga's school. And Toga is there because the whole fact that, you know, she's Toga, she's going to try to follow them around. And she at first she thought like, wait a minute, is Deku cheating? And then he was like, oh, he probably is walking somebody. Because if he was cheating, she'll stab him. And even though Deku is, you know, hyper regeneration, he doesn't want to get stabbed. So for this, Deku talks to Toga, and Toga was okay with this, and he said, oh, that's your sister? It was like, he said, yeah, that was my sister. And then he said, fudge, I kind of forgot. Okay. Froppy tells Deku, hey, Deku, is that your sister? He says yes, because the whole fact that he was about to say, no, this is my girlfriend, but he realized that he couldn't say it because that was technically his fake sister. So there's no Alabama vibes over here. No Alabama vibes whatsoever. Wholesome channel here. The best of the best channel of wholesomeness. Gosh, I'm an idiot. Anyway, Deku, well, basically, he got confessed. Like, she confessed to him. She was like, Deku, after you saved me from the villains, and this is when Toga realized she's putting 2 and 2 together, like, very quick, like faster than the fast. Toga was getting 2 and 2 together, like, oh boy, I know where this is going. I know where this is going. She was like, after you saved me and all that stuff, I wanted to say that I love you. And basically, she was actually tearing up. She was tearing up because, of course, she was tearing up. Like this is like the first time for her. So while tearing up, Deku realizes that she likes him. Like, he didn't think if she actually did like him, but no, he found out very quick that, yeah, she likes him. Sorry about that. Toga was like, at first she couldn't get mad because she's seeing it. She's like understanding how she feels. Heck, she even felt like that once. She kind of felt like that, you know. And Froppy was like crying. And she was like, I really do love you. I don't want you to go, and I don't want you to be hurt. I don't want people, to see you as weird. I'll take the blame. I know you might not like me because I'm an amphibian. Like I'm an amphibian. Like since she's technically classified in other terms as a half girl, half human, half animal. Well, technically she's more. I feel like she's just more human. She's like 95% 95% human / 5% frog. That's how I feel like. And Deku was like, I see. Well, I have to think about this. Because he can't just say no automatically, just like, yeah, he has a girlfriend, but, he's like, he doesn't want to just, like, say, nope, and just walk off, like, the distance, right at the distance. So he's just saying, listen. I'll think about it. I'm not sure yet. I will give you my answer soon. Tomorrow. After school. And this is when Toga was like, okay, so, it's not cheating, but she feels like, I feel cheated. But either way, Deku starts talking to, Deku starts talking to Toga, and he says, well, I don't want to break her heart, but I know in the very end you don't want me to, since we're a couple, I'm not going to just ditch you and automatically, do that to you. So I'll make sure that, I'll just let her down slowly, but not being mean about it. And this is when, Toga says, I like her. She's kind of, odd, but she's not bad. What do you think, Deku? And this is when Deku says, well, yeah, she's like, it's kind of odd, but at the same time, I don't hate her. I think she's a good person. I think she's kind. She doesn't actually... Oh, sorry about that. I think she's kind. I don't hate her at all, Yeah, this is just sprung up on me, but I feel like, ever since she was acting weird, she wanted to sit next by me, talk to me more, call her Sue. And this is when Toga's like, well, you know what, I'll make the decision, don't worry about it. And Deku was like, wait, what? Technically, this takes two to tango. This is my, I'm being asked here, not you. And this is what she says, but come on now, I want to help out. And Deku says, either you might try to kill her for her action, for what she said, and then she says, nonsense, I would never do that. This is when Deku says, yeah, right. Deku just says, look, I'll just let her down loosely, and Toga says, wait. This is when she says, does she know that we're a thing? Deku says, no, she doesn't know anything about that. This is when she says, alright, go out with her. He says, of course. Wait, what? Hold on here. Toga, wait, what did you just say? This is when Toga says, I want you to actually go out with her. This is when Deku's saying, this isn't some kind of, Midnight Shyamalan. There's no like other endings that's going to happen. Like, this isn't some kind of dating RPG. You just can't like automatically just go out with somebody. And this is when Deku is just like saying, Toga, well, aren't we dating? And this is who says, yes, we're dating. Yes, I'm always going to love you. But I want you to just, make her feel happy. You can love her, you can do all that stuff. I just want you to do one thing. And Deku was like, Deku is scared. Deku is nervous, like, well, what kind of one thing do you want? He says, just make sure she's taken care of. Like, just you can love both of us. In time, she'll find out. But this is not an open relationship. It's just we're letting one more person in the happiness. And that is it. We're not ending anyone else. This is just me, you, and her. Alright? And Deku says, alright. And then this is when Toga gets, like, very, very stern with him. Any other woman tries to do that as well, and you agree accidentally, I will stab them. This is when Deku says, I got you. Don't worry about that. I won't accept anyone else's love. You have my full, like, acknowledgement of that. Sorry about that. So, Deku, starts talking to her and he says, so, should I tell her me and you are an actual thing, or... And this is when, Toga says, no, I just want both of you to be happy for a while. And then Deku says, alright. So they're holding hands and all that stuff. And yeah, Froppy is already like in her house, so there's no way she could hear any of this. And this is when Kurogiri comes from the sidelines. And, well, he just, like, vamooshes, and they're gone. They go to their house, they eat, they sleep, they're cuddling, and all that stuff. So we get to the next day of the UA Sports Festival. Now, so what happens after that goes like this. Deku trained for the next day, and he feels much more like alive, because the energy that he feels within him is like burning. It feels like not like he's gonna get like a new quirk or anything like that, but his whole body feels like tensed, but it feels relaxed. Because the whole fact that now that he had hyper regeneration, the more he trained non-stop for at least 5 good hours. So that meant like in another 5 hours or so, or another 4 hours, he had to go to school. No, hold on here. 5 plus 5. It's 10 o'clock plus another 2. So 7 hours of pure exercise, and basically Deku was just getting ready, and the guys in the locker room were like, wait a minute, was Deku usually this ripped? Like, he looks a little bit more toned now. But this is when they're all like, yeah, it's probably nothing. Bakugo says, hey, Deku. This is when, Deku says, hello. How you doing, Bakugo? And this is when Bakugo says, I may be friendlier towards you, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try to beat you in the, festival. Like, I'm going to win, and I'm going to be #1 again. This is when Deku says, right. Alright. Well, we'll see who wins. Don't worry about that, buddy. I'll make sure that, you know, I'll warm that seat for you in second place. And this is when, well, he says, okay. Okay, you think, okay, I got you. Don't worry about it. Now, Deku is technically first place. Wait, did I say he was first? Yeah, he's technically first place. Huh. Yeah, but like I said, he's in first place. And basically he talks to everyone, everybody listens to him, and he says this. It's good to see you all. Wait a minute, he didn't do the thing against Bakugo, technically. Okay, so, yeah, Bakugo does his whole thing where he says, yeah, you all are just going to lose. Deku has that, Bakugo has that Vegeta vibe, you know. He's caring, but he's not, you know, dumb. He's not going to just automatically agree with everything. But this is when the two start, you know, this is when Deku starts, you know, talking to Froppy, and, you know, while everybody's yelling, Deku says his answer is, and after everyone was quiet, everybody start roaring at Bakugo, saying that he's going to lose. They don't like Bakugo at all. Bakugo's a jerk. Yeah, Bakugo pretty much pissed off everyone. This is nothing new. So, after that, yeah, Deku and all the others go and start the race. Now, the race is about to commence. And Deku is getting ready. Deku feels like this sensation of, like, just, you know, ready to charge in head first. This is when Todoroki, you know, he just says, yeah, everyone's going to not make it before me. You know, like, I know what I'm going to do now. And this is when Deku has an idea, because he knows how Todoroki is. He's not going to let what you know, Todoroki, he knows what Todoroki's going to do. He has a hunch, and it has to do with something along it has something to do with his ice. So Deku starts making barriers and constructs, starts putting them in individual lines. Not only that, he made it to where he constructed something so invisible that nobody noticed it. Everybody is set on just one item. The front of the light in the end of the tunnel. And that's what everyone's seeing. But nobody sees these constructs being made because nobody understands how it works. Deku can make them invisible. And not only that, it kind of obstructs their view a millisecond. So nobody the people will think, oh, something got in my eye or something like that. Todoroki gets ready. Pushes all the ice that he can muster at that moment, only to find out he's encased. Oh, sorry about that. Let me see here. Hold on. So, anyway. So, hold on here. Deku goes and he pretty much just starts climbing up and up with invisible stick, which is one of his constructs that he just decides to use. And since everyone was trying to get in first place, everybody is blocked by a barrier. Todoroki's encased in ice. Bakugo's trying to explode it, and he actually did. Well, only his side. Todoroki just starts heating up the ice, causing it just to be a whole like hot water or something like that. Or not hot water, but just water. And when everybody's gone, the water just erupts and pushes a couple of people on the side. So now, everybody has a shot to the outside, but Deku is first. Now, after all that happens, Deku is just saying well, everyone's going to get mad, and he just starts running. And he runs, and he runs, and he runs. Now, this is when he meets one of the, I don't know which one it was, let's say 2-pointers. And he pretty much just makes another construct, and just pushes him, starts, using it as, like, the power pole from Goku. And he just pushes it all the way up, and makes him actually, temporarily on the air. After that, he falls. But, doing a tumble. If you guys don't know that, it's just somebody just rolling. When he rolls, basically, Deku is looking, when Deku rolls, sorry about that. When he does that, Deku is basically catching momentum, and he starts to run again. Now, the thing with Deku, he's running at a similar pace infinitely. Like, he could do this literally by technicality forever. Oh, until he dies, or until somebody stops him. But 15 miles per hour, going at it for 20 miles per hour. And he's actually running and running and running. And Bakugo and Todoroki are technically going in first now. Sorry about that. Bakugo and Todoroki go in and start running as fast as they can. Sorry. They keep going as fast as they can. And basically they see Deku, they're trying to catch up, but Deku is going at a good pace. Bakugo and Todoroki don't go as fast as they could, because it could hurt them in the very end, and also their stamina. So, what does happen is Deku is trying to make constructs, but he can't see behind him. So, he makes a black construct, so that way they can see. So that way they know they don't just hit themselves into a wall. He's generous in that way, by just giving them extra. And when I mean extra, I mean extra time, or extra obstacles to go on. So he just keeps doing that, and he's just making so much that Bakugo and Todoroki are just tired. And Bakugo is just running, so he's just walking now, and just finding different obstacles and weaves to go through. And yeah, he keeps doing this. And Deku is just oh, hopefully they don't catch up to me. And then he sees where the bombs are placed at, and he knows where each one is lit. Because the whole fact that they look pretty much identifiable. You see that little darker spot that's a darker shade than the others? Yeah, that's where the bomb is at. And people were oh no, nobody knows where the bomb is at. Everybody's a retard nowadays. So, Deku does that. And, what do I mean does that? He goes through the clear ones, and he makes a maze. He makes a maze that is very tall. And he starts constructing on where to go, what to do. And then this is when people in the very end start realizing what his plan is. He is making a maze to where he knows exactly where it's at, but he's gonna walk over it, and after that let go of that part, or let go of the floor, so that way he doesn't touch it. But once he takes away the floor and just leaves the maze open, everybody is going to has to go through the maze where the explosions are at. So, Deku technically is a genius. So, what happens after that? Bakugo and Todoroki start walking, and they're Well, it's a maze, so it's not an obstacle, so we just gotta find the way out of here. Bakugo's the first one to go, and yeah, he explodes and he's just pushed back. Todoroki just starts putting ice everywhere. This is when Bakugo just starts like exploding and just start like trying to go up in the air. But he pretty much can after a couple of times because it's like it will hurt him a lot. So he decides just to run. And Todoroki is icing it up. And he's pushing Todoroki as fast as he can, causing this whole thing to where these two are technically working together, but they're working against each other at times. So when that happens, Deku is technically first place, and he's basically on the ground, just taking a nap. And yeah, others start to push them forward. Todoroki starts pushing upwards, and what I mean by that is they're filling up the maze. They're technically filling up the maze to where everyone doesn't know where everything is at. This is when Deku decides, well, since a lot of people are now in the maze, they have a good idea on what they're going to do. And what I mean by that is he turns off the maze. He turns off the maze, and a lot of kids are now spread out with bombs that are everywhere, but he decides to, let them all out, so that way now it's a big explosion. Kids are falling from the sky. Sorry about that. Kids are falling from the sky on their ass, just like laying there, and they're hurt. And Deku was like, well, I'm going to get hated for this, but yeah. So he gets the 1 million headband. Give me a second here, people. Hold on. Sorry about that. I kept coughing, and basically I need to drink some medicine. Like I said, no COVID, none of that. It's just, But thank you for still watching. Thank you a lot. I am grateful for you guys. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful, alright? Let me just say that because I keep screwing it up. So, oh yeah. Deku, after taking a nap, everybody just starts, kicking the crap out of him. And they're just like, like one of those anime things where they're just like stomping on them. And everybody is just like trying to have their fair share. And yeah, it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well for a lot of them. But in the very end, Deku just get like Anyway, so Deku does get in some trouble, or not trouble, but yeah, he there's no going around it. He still did something bad, or he technically was being he technically was a jerk for that. But either way, Deku, well, he gets first place, and everybody, like, they're like, okay, everybody, now that it's first, you get, like, he got first place. He gets like 1,000. He gets 1,000. I forgot what the word is. I forgot that, like, he gets 1,000. Like, no, he gets 1 million points. Everybody now has to chase him, or or get his headband in order to get it. Deku was like, well, I screwed up, so not that big of a deal. So, when Deku went to talk to Froppy, he got Froppy. Not only that, he had to try to fight somebody, because people didn't like what he did. He got Froppy, and also Hatsume, since she really didn't care, she just wanted to, just like raps, like, she just wanted to show people her inventions, so it's not that big of a deal. Not only that, Deku, I don't know who else. I really don't know who else. I think that'll be it. Let's just add in a different Uraraka as well. And yeah, that's okay. We have all that. All those people, just like there. Let's see. Deku is now going to be like. He's going to talk to those three, and they come up with a plan. It's a dirty plan, but it's a plan nonetheless. You see, Deku decided, well, they really don't have to do anything. They just need to they have to make their defenses so strong that nobody can possibly try to beat them. So what he does is this. Oh yeah, Tokoyami. Tokoyami's in there too. So while they're right there, Deku decides that he's just going to make barriers, but this time he's going at it full force. He makes his barrier very strong, to where he's making 5 barriers, all the same size, shape, and width. But then he starts doing something very weird. He starts making more and more and more again. For some unknown reason, he just keeps making more. Until everybody finally got it. Everybody was being encased by these, being encased by these barriers. And Deku decided, why not? They'll just make more barriers and more barriers along the way. Until they make until they make an even-shaped, even-sized barrier. So even if anybody tries to break out, it's already over, because the whole fact that once they break out, now they have to try to break other people out, which will try to make other people break out. And even more people. Not only that, with this, there could be also, how do I say it? Deku could try to, make another barrier, but he decides that he will not make another barrier. So when that happens, everybody says, technically, they say ready, set, go, and everything is coming into flourishing. Deku made sure to go around and have people he makes constructs out of, he makes the barriers at first, and he starts trapping people in them. Nobody understands what happened until 2 other people are gone, or 2 other teams are gone. That's where they find out, not to go around this guy, but Deku is going for it. This is when he starts making a box. A very big box, I might add. And Deku is telling Tokoyami to go and actually just use his quirk. Tokoyami's saying he's gonna be scared, but Deku says, "Do not worry, I have this all figured out." This is when Deku just starts basically creating like a barrier that's kind of like a sled. He makes a sled type barrier. So when Tokoyami basically releases Dark Shadow becomes very big, and well, Deku starts, you know, not destroying, but Dark Shadow does take down a couple of teams. And this is when, sorry about that. This is when Deku makes another, he makes a hole on the top, and then it shows 3 teams are already gone, or not gone, but they're flattened, and they're on the ground. There's nothing they can do about it anymore. So when that happens, when that's all done, Deku is just saying, well, I pretty much destroyed them. Tokuyami did, but these 3 teams are out. Luckily enough, it's not Bakugo or Todoroki. It's just, let's just say it's the teams that were never gonna be there at all. So yeah, even Monoma doesn't actually have a good headband that's like, you know, big enough to actually be like theirs. So when he lets go of everyone, only one person decides to break it. Monoma tried to do he could try to break it as hard as he can. It didn't work. He was already gone. Or not gone, but you know, he was already like booted. A lot of people got last place. Bakugo, Todoroki still held their banners, so they won on that part. Well, not win, but you know, they didn't die, so that's good. Give me a second here, people. So the thing is already over. Well, technically the headband thing is over. Now it's time for the fight, the face-off. The Arena of Lost Souls. Which technically every kid nowadays that has, you know, I'm 14 and this is very deep kind of situations here. But anyway, when Deku was about to fight, what's his face? Fudge, I forgot what his face was. The mind reading dude, Shinso? The guy with the tail, Shinjo. Oh gosh, I forgot what their names are. So look, the Lion Tail basically told Deku that this guy is bad news. He mind controlled me or something like that. But I don't want you to speak or any of that. And Deku says, alright. Deku starts talking and, he starts talking to him and saying thank you. And then Deku says, but I really have to win. So Deku just starts running and basically creating a staff, made basically just a pipe, and just hitting him so hard in the stomach that he bleeds. And after that, Deku just slams his freaking he slams his conjured oh fudge, that doesn't sound right at all. He just grabs the stick and slams him, hits his back, causing him to fall down and, you know, just be right there. Just not dead, but close to death. Not even close to death, people. Just kidding. But anyway, Deku just, you know, tells him, you fought well, but you have some deep-seated hatred that you shouldn't be, you know, using. And Deku caught himself in a bit of like this weird feeling, like when he said those words, like deep-seated hatred. Oh sheesh, I hurt myself. When he said that, he had these like vivid memories, like of that he remembered as a child. He had these like tiny little like fractions of somebody that he thought he remembered, and he remembered it, and it was like it was a woman with green hair. And that's all he knew, and that's all he knows now. This is when he was just like freaked out, but the people cheered. They cheered and says, "All right, he won," and all that stuff. Yeah, I want your baby, that kind of stuff. I feel like the last one was much more accurate. Anyway. So, when Deku won, he just, just thought to himself, well, that was weird, but I won, so that's good. Deku just didn't know what to do. He was just, just freaked out for that couple of seconds. But after that, he sees everybody else, talking and doing what they have to do. And Deku technically, he told them, or he told who? No, wait, he told Deku. No, Deku told Froppy how he felt, and he was like, he was there, and he was talking to Froppy and saying, "Froppy, listen to me. Just listen to me. I have to tell you something. I have my answer." And this is when, Froppy was like, so what is the answer? Looking at how Deku is staring with, like, troubled eyes. But it's not because it's not because he's going to say no. It's just the fact that he had that memory, but he's deciding just to say it. So, yeah. Deku was just very scared at that moment. So, when he talks to Froppy, he says, "Froppy, I know that I told you that I would tell you in the afternoon, but I decided to tell you now. I will." And then she's like, she's like saying, will he or will he not? Or it's like, and Deku is about to say it until freaking, Endeavor's there. Yay! I bet all you guys are happy to hear him right now. He says, "Oh, look. Here's the kid named Izuku. My name is Endeavor. I wanted to talk to you about Shoto." This is when Deku was like, "Wait, what? Hold on here. You mean Todoroki?" And this is when Endeavor says, "Yes, Todoroki. I want you to fight him." And this is when Deku says, "Well, alright, yeah, I could fight him. It's not that hard, just, we're gonna fight soon." And this is what he says, "Alright, my answer is, but I decided that I want you to beat him. Or at least push him to his limits. Make him use his quirk." And this is when Deku just snaps. And he says, "Sir, as much as I respect you, I'm trying to accept somebody's request of love. I'm trying to accept their feelings for this moment." And then this is when he's like, "Oh gosh, every time I'm trying to speak, This is when, oh man, I got like, anyway. Deku was trying to accept her feelings here, but all you just keep doing is, not minding your own business. So, after that, he says, "Yes, I accept what you I accept the, I accept you. I accept your proposal. I love you. Deku just said it bluntly, and it's like, well, Froppy is just like, wait, what, you do? She's happy, embarrassed, and this is when he's like, yeah, I accept you, I accept your feelings, and I will go out with you. This is when Deku realized what he just said, and he was shocked. He was very shocked. Deku just tells her, I feel something. Even though the times we were not going out, you were a little pushy, but it was okay. You were kind. You were understanding. Heck, even though you gave me trouble, it was good trouble. So I accept it. Now, let's say you and I become an official couple. And this is when Froppy is happy. And Endeavor just says, oh yes, puppy love. Well, alright then. As long as you do what you have to do to make my son use his quirk to the fullest extent, you do that, and I will be on my way. And this is when Deku decides, well, okay. So that's pretty much it. Todoroki, he hears some of it, and as happy as he is for Deku, he now knows that he has to beat Deku with everything he has, except for using his quirk. So, the fight between Deku and Todoroki commenced. So, the whole thing with that, Deku just starts using a construct and turns it out to be a hammer, or at least a sledge, or at least a long sledgehammer. That sounds like never mind. Anyway, so Deku just talks to him and talks to Todoroki and he says, give me everything you got. And this is when Todoroki says, I will, but I'm not going to do it because of your, my dad. He says, alright then, that's good. That's good. I like that. Now, Deku goes and, talks to, he talks to freaking, oh man, my back is itchy, sorry. He talks to him and says, well, I just want you to give me 100% of your abilities, not his. He doesn't own you, he's just your father. And I understand that because dads can be sometimes very awkward, but in the very end, my dad wanted what's best of me. That doesn't mean he wanted me to just be exactly like him. Which is actually weird because, making an all for one, kind of like the good guy for that second right there. That was kind of weird, but, kind of cool. So this is when Todoroki just says, whatever. And Deku just starts, running towards him. And Todoroki just uses his ice. And Deku breaks off some ice. And after that does it again. Until he realizes that the ice is coming closer. Jumping away. And after that, putting a barrier between him and Todoroki. Deku is just very, he's like jumping up and down. He's actually excited for this. And this is when Deku just starts running towards him again. and Todoroki's using his ice. But this time, Deku just shoots out a barrier out of his hand, makes it as flat as he can. Freaking spins it around so fast that's becoming unbearable to actually, touch, because it can still hurt you when you touch the skin, except for Deku. But at this point, he forgot that, still can hurt. So he throws it at freaking, he throws it at, Todoroki. And he calls this move Barrier Shuriken. Due to the fact that it's going at high speeds, or a good speed, it's very light. Not only that, it will cut through a lot of things, cutting a lot of the ice in half. Not all of it, but some. Todoroki was kind of amazed on his abilities. Deku was saying, "Oh, don't worry about that. There's more where it came from." Deku says, "I promise you, this is not going to be the end of what I have been planned." So, Deku, after that, decides to... How do I say it? Let's see. I forgot what the words were. But Deku, what's the word? Deku accepts this. And hold on here. Let me see. Oh, it's 57. Yeah, I'll still keep going. Deku and Todoroki basically start fighting each other again. Deku is hitting his hammer and throwing mini shurikens, which don't do as much damage, but they're to keep Todoroki on his toes. But this is when Deku starts creating another construct and saying, "I have something planned out for attacks like yours." And he says, "Your ice is pretty, solid, and also it's cold. But with this move, with the move that I have for it, it will be pretty unique." And he starts tossing it as high as he can. And it goes up. And it goes up, and it's up. It's as light as air. But it's moving to where Deku wants it to be. So, Deku leaves it there. And after that, Todoroki just starts putting ice again and shooting it. And Deku, he's ready. Grabbing his freaking, Deku grabs his freaking his barrier, and starts putting everything he has onto the barrier. And even more due to the fact that, Deku, is using that. That kind of stuff. I forgot what that kind of stuff means, but what I mean by that kind of stuff is, he's, I'm sorry if I keep messing up, but let me just keep trying to say words. Let me just try to say stuff. So, he's putting off a kind of an attack from the air. That thing is kind of like, it's kind of a physics attack. So Deku is putting off a barrier as much as he can, protecting himself from whatever damage that's going to unfold. And this is when Clayman or Cementos. Shit. Anyway, this is what he's Cementos. Shit. You know what I'm trying to say? That hero, the cement hero. He basically puts down a barrier or not a barrier, it just starts putting like a thing around the dome. And it's basically covering everything because Deku can't hear anybody from the outside. So Deku just goes all the way down. And freaking, he lets the heaviness of his, he lets down the heaviness of his freaking quirk. I don't know how to explain this because it's a weird way. But he makes the construct that he had heavy and heavy and heavy until it's like 20 tons. And he just lets it skydive off the freaking, well, technically atmosphere, and it goes at high speeds, and it's basically, think of that as a pencil, but very, 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 very heavy. But as big as a bus, or as long as a bus, and it hits the ground, and all you hear is a shockwave from the ice, and it hits everything, destroying basically a lot of the freaking, a lot of the arena. The arena is basically destroyed. Except for Deku's, because he had an idea. Todoroki is basically paralyzed, or not dead, or not paralyzed as in like he can't walk anymore. But pretty much he saw what was that, and it was just going so fast he decided to put all the ice there, and let me just try to run out of here. Hold on here. So, after that, Deku's quirk just pretty much he pretty much won. Now, that was it for Todoroki. He's right now, the only thing that broke was his foot, because he technically twisted it. Toga was surprised. A lot of the villains were surprised after seeing this. Even All For One was thinking to himself, even I probably would have recovered from this. But Deku picks up Todoroki, does something with his quirk and his hand, and he says, well, it's a good thing that I have this. Ooh, otherwise you would be dead. And, he's helping him out, fixing it and stuff. So, yeah. Give me a moment here, people. Alright, so, the whole thing with Bakugo goes something like this. Bakugo fights, and after that he wins. And when Bakugo and Deku were sitting down, Deku said that, are you prepared to lose? Which Bakugo says, there's no way I'm going to lose to you. And this is when Deku says, I wouldn't hold you, to that extent. He would say something, but in the very end, he does tell him that, yeah, I'm not going to let you automatically, how do I say this? I'm not going to let you just win because, I'm going to be the #1 hero. But, if you want, we could still, duke it out in the ring. I'll give you that much right there. So anyway, I'll be waiting. I'll wait for you. Don't worry, buddy. No way I can let you automatically, win that easily. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. After the whole talk with Deku and him just start walking up to the arenas. And these two start fight. They're like, readying up. They're doing the stance. They're practicing the freaking Hadouken and all that good stuff. So the battle begins. The two just start walking up to each other. Like, walking up to each other with their hands just ready, cracking and all that stuff. And Bakugo just leads off with the freaking punch to the face. Just a nice, good punch. But Deku grabs his arm, and after that does an arm lock. Pretty much just, slamming him to his back, slamming him to the ground while he's just holding him. Bakugo remembers this and basically starts to just explode, and Deku starts to feel it. So he pretty much, with his upper body strength, pretty much picks up his feet and slams him down with his face now. And this is when people are like, wow, this kid just, this should have, broke his knees, since his knees are technically tucked in there, are first, and then it's his face. Yeah. He knew what he was doing. So, the whole thing with Deku and Bakugo, basically Bakugo just explodes on the other side using his other hand, causing them to be in the air, causing Bakugo to break free and just basically explode Deku to the ground, causing Deku to just slam into it, causing a bit of a little crater, and Froppy is just basically kind of scared. But Toga is next by him, and this is when Toga says, "Hey, I heard that, you two are dating now. Congratulations." And this is when, Bakugo just starts fighting Deku, and while that's happening, with Deku getting more of the upper hand, Toga talks to Froppy, and she says, she whispers in her ear, causing Toga to blush. And after seeing Toga smile and, talking to her a little bit more, causing Froppy to be, even redder than red, Deku was thinking to himself, this was your plan all along. This was you sneaky little, you little devil. Now, Deku starts to fight again, and Deku is losing. And Deku just keeps, losing and losing until he snaps out of it and kicks Bakugo in the face. And after that, Deku grapples him, does a weird flip to where Bakugo's his head is on the ground and his legs are up in the air. And Deku just Deku just kicks him very hard in the chest, causing him to be pushed back and fall. Deku pretty much starts using his quirk, and this is when he does something weird. He pretty much does these weird constructs and movements, and after that, he tosses them up. And after that, Bakugo is like, what's happening? After the whole thing, the constructs look to be red, and he slams one down on freaking Bakugo's leg. Well, technically he wasn't up all the way, but he was technically bending one knee over. And what happened was his leg that was on the floor, or on its knee, was technically, on the ground. So Bakugo didn't know what to do. And after that, Deku just pretty much kicked him in the head. And Bakugo was like, wait, what? And he basically was trying to get up, but his back got pushed down. And after that, Deku just did the same thing with his arms, and the other leg, and his other leg. And after that, his neck. He was technically stopped, and he was so surprised at what happened. And after all that, Deku basically made a weird face. Bakugo was scared at one point. Deku just lifted up his scythe that was just near them. And after that, people were thinking he's gonna kill him. And this is when Deku just slams it so hard to the ground. Everybody was like, what? What just happened? And after that, they all saw that Bakugo, it didn't hit his head at all. It was actually away from his head. So, yeah. This caused Bakugo to just be petrified with fear. And he said, well, I caught him, and he doesn't have the will to move right now, so I win. Safe to say, everybody was freaked out. Nobody knew why this happened. But yeah. So after all that, Deku just, won. Toga was, after that, talked to Deku. Deku was, a little embarrassed. Because, what can I say? He's embarrassed in the very end. It's like, he knew what happened. So, yeah. Deku doesn't know what to do. He's saying, so what happened, Froppy? What? I feel like I have a lot of explaining to do. And Froppy says, oh, yes, you do. And then sorry about that. She said, Did you and your sister... She's not my sister. Okay, good. She told me the exact same thing. And then this is when Jackie says, wait, she told you what? And she said, yeah, she told me the exact same thing. I didn't know that was going to happen. But hey, sheesh, that was, hey, I'm not going, I can't judge, although I feel like I should be judging very much. So, I don't know what to say. Deku is just, baffled. He's like, what can I say? Yeah, technically, what can he say? He doesn't know what to do. He's just... Sheesh. He's more confused now. But... Let's see... Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like he's doing his sister. She's seeing it as she's doing his sister, but it's his stepsis, which means we have some stepbro vibes right here from Deku. Deku is pretty much freaked out, but she actually still loves him in the very end. She heard about some of the naughty things that Deku and Toga did, and she wants to be a part of it. So yeah. Yay! Woohoo! So, yeah, I'm gonna end it off here. But hopefully you guys liked the video. If you didn't, you didn't. So, like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. It's been the Fallout with Fear. Bye.